Hello everyone, Gameaholik here, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest update, patch 1.4.4. So if this video is useful, helpful or interesting, then please do consider liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing. Okay, so with the latest update, they have brought in the new and latest Mercenary Voyages that are obtainable from Duke, and this time the main one will consist of you using the Reaper's Mark. So the one I was talking about there is the Reaper's Run of the Wanderer's Refuge, and it costs 5 doubloons. After you've purchased it, make sure that you put the Reaper's Mark on before you put the mission down and it gets accepted. You have to have the Reaper's Mark on first. It's very important you do it that way. And what it is that there's going to be a challenge as such to brave the waters around Wanderer's Refuge, with multiple crews obviously heading to the same location with the Reaper's Mark on. And not too sure what the ins and outs of it yet because I haven't personally done it, but I presume it'll be a case of maybe doing some sort of voyages and quests all in one hit. So I'm guessing there might be a school one to do and then there might be a treasure one to do. If you do know what it is, then let me know in the comment section. It'd be much appreciated. This will also unlock progress towards the legendary commendation, Legendary Reaper of the Wanderer's Refuge, and also the Wandering Reaper title. You're going to need those to unlock some brand new cosmetics, which we're going to get to next. Okay, so now we get on to the Wandering Reaper's ship cosmetics, and if my memory serves me right, there is 2 brand new ones which we'll get onto, as well as the Reaper's Mark one. So you have to do the Reaper's Mark one with the Reaper's Mark flag on 5 times, or you have to do it once to get 1 commendation, so obviously doing it will count for both there. And then there's the 2 new ones as well, and I think that unlocks everything possible, and you can get up to 90 doubloons as well. It will cost you, if you're doing it on your own, 25, 10, 45 doubloons, is that right in my head? No, it's not, it's 35 doubloons, and then you will get 90 back. I don't know what the prices are of the new cosmetics, but I'm guessing to buy them all will probably be around the 50 doubloons mark. So it is a black and white themed ship livery this time, and everyone's already taking the mickey out of it and saying it looks like a smiley face with like a sword in his hand, yeah, which is pretty funny, I guess. But yeah, that's what you're going to unlock if you want to complete that, and there is no time limit on it at the moment, so I don't know how long we have to complete all these. So the other 2 voyages I was talking about are called the Mercenary Voyages of the Wilds and the Ancient Isles, and they also cost 5 doubloons. From my knowledge, just to get your commendations done, you have to do 1 of each of these 2. You don't need to put the Reaper's Mark on. It's only the Reaper's Mark of Wanderer's Refuge voyage that you have to do 5 times to get the legendary one unlocked. So like I say, it could just be a case of just doing them normally. I've done the Ancient Isle ones personally. I unlocked the commendation without the Reaper's Mark being on. So there has been some Merchant Alliance improvements. The animal payouts have been significantly increased. I worked it out roughly as a pirate legend. It's roughly around the £300-400 mark to get the increase. So like for example, the gold can go up to around 2,000, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit over actually thinking about it, and the black ones I think are now about 1,200. It was for me anyway. It might be higher, it might be lower, because the gap of payout is actually quite wide. They've also made improvements to the cargo runs payouts, the robustness of the cargo itself, and the sailing distance. So the payouts is as follows. For perfect, I don't know about any other damage, but for perfect, on the standard ones it was 350, handing it in perfectly is now 700, and the Devil's Roar versions was 700, and now they are 1,400, which is doubled on both sides, which is interesting. So I presume the amount she was getting before for damage, etc., the stages will also have been doubled. So the robustness, it obviously comes with constant mega attacks, AI ships. If you're doing Devil's Roar, you've got the volcanoes going off, which seems to be at the moment broken, I think, or maybe, I'm not too sure, or they've upped the rate because they were going off so much last night. It was crazy. They've made them so that they don't break as easy, which is obviously good as well, so that you can get the high rewards. Sailing distances, you could pick one up in Devil's Roar and end up having to go to somewhere over the other side of the map. It was a little bit crazy sometimes you got it right next to it. They've obviously shortened the distance, so I did one last night, Morris Peak Outpost over to Ruby's Foil, which is literally just an island next to it. They've obviously looked at the numbers and realised that people are not doing the Merchant Alliance as much as the other 2 missions, I'm guessing, so they've obviously wanted to increase it to encourage people to do them more often. Okay, there is a few updates as well to add towards this. So floating treasure has had an increase of the time that it takes before it sinks. I didn't find this too much of a problem, but but I can understand where it's coming from as well. So once the loot floats, it pops up quicker, which is a great improvement. That is brilliant. It used to take so long to pop up. It's now going to take longer to drop as well. The sword miss recovery swing, so when you go to swing a sword, whether it's player or AI, and you miss, you now have like a kind of stun, a delay before you can do the next one. This might actually be more beneficial towards PvP side of it rather than the AI. They've added more food barrels to every single ship as well, and they've been relocated. They are now next to the oven thing. They've also changed like the images when you're talking to the NPCs. It's now got a nice clear, crisp sort of texture thing going on. It's really cool. They've got color contrast accessibility, updated the color contrast of selected items in the menu settings to better support accessibility for WCAG standards. And they've now got a system in place where the service status messaging, so our live operations, it says teams have now the ability to communicate changes to our service status to players in the game as they happen. So I mean, if they're going to take the servers down, it'll probably pop up. You've got 30 minutes, etc, etc. I'm not sure how what they're gonna do more with it, but they might use it in a different way as well. So there's quite a few fixed issues, and I will hopefully remember to put the forum or the patch notes link in the description, but the main ones I just want to quickly talk about before we finish this video today is that they have fixed the blocking, which we mentioned previous in my videos. So when it was a light strike from mainly the skeletons really, you put the block up and it just goes straight through it. That's now fixed, and they have also fully fixed, which was a bit worrying, the switching between guns should now consistently play the full wield animation and the firing delay. So even though they said they fixed the double gun glitch, I don't think they did completely. It seems like they have now. The last thing to talk about is extended black screen loading. So this is the only known issue. Sometimes you just get that permanent wheel in the bottom right corner, especially when you're died and you just can't get through. There is a workaround. Unfortunately, if you're going solo, you're pretty much screwed, but anything apart from solo, you just get your teammates to put you in the brig, and that apparently will bypass it. The other alternative is if you're with your normal crew and not randoms, you could then also just leave the game and then ask them to re-invite you and join back in that way. That's another way of a workaround. So one last thing before, and I may touch on it as I play and investigate further, there's two things I've noticed in this update, and I've done it in the past. When they've updated the game, some of the old things that they took out come back. There's two things I've noticed with this update. In Devil's Roar, the volcanoes are going off all the time, like they were when they first come out, and then they had to nerf them. So that's it for today's patch note reviews. Yeah, let me know how you're enjoying these new Mercenary Voyages, and also let me know how you feel about the Merchant of Light improvements. I can't see it being a problem. We're getting paid more for the same amount of work. Thank you very much for watching today. Have a great rest of your voyages, and take care.